Erick Stevens getting right in the face of Isaiah Broner.
Absolutely, I was gonna say. Isaiah Broner returning with some good cheer, if not the most respectful cheer.
And here we go, Sarah. Erick Stevens getting right back into the thick of things with Isaiah Broner. And the problem extends his hand, and Stevens doesn't want to shake it. It's all about business right now. Nothing in the rule book here. BLP says you have to shake hands.
I know, but I like the respect. I prefer it, you know. But Broner knows the deal now, and he's realizing that he's not going to get what he offered, so let's get into it.
Broner seeming confident. Very impressive. Takes Stevens into the corner.
Ooh.
Look at that, Erick Stevens. Oh.
Polishing up the skull. It seems like a disrespectful move.
I'm getting some inklings that this one might break down very soon, Sarah.
I mean, I just feel like a couple sparks have been lit and the ground is hay.
Stevens going for I thought a knee, but he went for a leg hook. He's got that ankle.
There's been a lot of rope grabbing and holds being tested today.
And some jaw jacking here.
Jeez. Are you allowed to do that?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Absolutely. Broner showed a smile on his face.
I think that's sometimes the way you gotta meet it, when somebody's being like boldly disrespectful.
Oh, did you hear that?
Just smile and then give them the chop of a lifetime.
Forearm by Stevens.
Yeah.
Broner still smiling.
Broner absorbing the pain into cheek.
Oh, another chop, this time sending Erick Stevens crashing to the canvas.
I mean, yeah, ticket to the lower level.
Clubbing forearms. Look at this, Vader style by Broner. Now working on the midsection. Dissecting Stevens in the corner.
And he's backing up, but he is still ready to take hold. Woo! Treating him like a bocce ball in the yard on a summer afternoon.
And a fall-away slam by Broner. And Erick Stevens perhaps rethinking this comeback in the early minutes of this match. Broner still confident. Oh, look at these forearms.
Tied up and twisted the way I'd like to see.
Erick Stevens wants none of those forearms. That is how you get a nose broken real quick in a match.
I mean, you don't want to come back after all this time and then immediately feel the damage to an integral part of your skull.
Erick Stevens.
Fighting in close to the crowd.
You know, I didn't realize this, Sarah. Erick Stevens looks almost like an evil version of Chicago sportsman Pat Tomasulo, sportscaster.
Wow, he really does.
And look at that, Erick Stevens returning the favor. Chop after chop after chop for Broner. Broner still keeping cool, and another big chop. Broner seems to be having his way with Stevens, but Stevens moves! Broner's forearm smashing into that post.
I mean, his arm hit that post like a slap bracelet in the 90s.
And right now, Erick Stevens jumping on that injured arm. Look at that.
Come on.
Ah, disgusting.
Pulling that arm around. That could have been bones, sinew, joints. That was damage, all told.
And right now, that smile has been erased from Isaiah Broner, but a rock bottom on the apron, the hardest part of the ring, Sarah, is going to help even things out for Isaiah Broner.
That's rock middle when you're going up and into the apron, in my book. I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to submit it to the Wrestling Hall of Fame Encyclopedia.
And right now, Broner in control, but he's hurting as well. And look at that, veteran maneuver by Erick Stevens going right back to that injured arm. Dropping that shin right on the bicep. You can see Broner trying to move that fingers around, trying to get some blood circulation going.
Those same fingers that tried to have a respectful handshake at the beginning of this match, and look how far we've fallen.
And right now, Erick Stevens, look at that. Look at the wrist control he's got right now.
Oh, you can feel it in our own bones.
And now perhaps trying. Oh, he is trying to get a submission on Broner. Look at this. He's got both arms and an ankle out of commission.
2 needles of the compass are his.
And right now, Broner's going to have to do some maneuvering to get to that rope, and he does.
He got there. He used the bottom half to bring his core up to where he could get that rope, but I think the break might have caused a little bit of damage too.
Erick Stevens in control and dissecting that bicep. Ah, look at that. Shot by Broner. All he can seem to do is go for that midsection. Perhaps the lungs take some wind out of Stevens.
I think that's a key spot. It's kind of like an acupuncture when you find the pressure point. If you keep smacking the same backside of the lung, you're going to get blown up, and you're going to do it on your opponent's behalf.
Beautiful headlock takeover, judo throw by Erick Stevens, sort of a combo. A lot of competitors here in BLP, very familiar with MMA and professional wrestling.
Oh, the wisest fans are.
These hybrid athletes, not unlike a Kevin Koo and most certainly an Erick Stevens. And right now, Isaiah Broner is tied up and getting a professional wrestling lesson by the returning Erick Stevens.
I mean, Erick Stevens wasn't going to come back to not dole out all the pain he had been carrying with him ever since his retirement, right?
That is correct, Sarah, and you don't see a whole lot of ring rust, so clearly Erick Stevens has been training for this return.
No, and there is a lot of that Erick Stevens attitude, that inability to see your opponent as someone other than a robot to be assassinated in the final calling. I mean, this guy is a machine, and he goes after people like they're machines as well.
Beautiful Samoan drop after sending Erick Stevens flying in the air. Isaiah Broner crashing down with his opponent, putting all that body weight on Stevens. And right now, referee Jeremy Tellem is giving us a 10 count.
I thought he would have come back as Erick Stevens spelled AIR for how high he gets.
Well, there you go.
Higher than an infield fly on some of those jumps.
It's Stevens right now up to his feet first.
Again, it's that strategy.
Oh,
but that's brute force. Both have their place in wrestling.
Now you notice Isaiah Broner using those shoulder tackles because that arm might still be out of commission. Goes for a clothesline there.
And you don't know what's going on with the nerves.
There's that arm, and you can see, Sarah, he went for the clothesline, and that arm instantly gave him trouble.
I think there's some kind of a nerve pinch or some kind of damage.
Beautiful sky high.
Still able to do that. But look at this.
Broner not able to get those arms down on the shoulders to perhaps keep Erick Stevens down for a 3 count, and Stevens able to kick out.
The hub of nerves in the elbow, and when they're not working at the right junctions, your fingers don't work, your shoulders don't work, there's pain, there's not a lot of precision available, so he's got to go force, I think, on this one.
Absolutely, and Isaiah Broner has a very hard-hitting offense, and he needs that arm 100% to do maneuvers like this that you see he didn't get in there. Broner able to slip out a little bit. I don't know how tight of a lock that Erick Stevens has right now.
His arm, I can see the veins popping beneath his elbow. It's got to be pretty tight, but not tight enough. Oh, look at this.
Broner's got him up, sending him into the corner, using his own weight again.
Oh, and Isaiah Broner looking for a little relief. You never turn your back on an opponent, though, especially not Stevens.
Beautiful suplex. Gets a little separation from Erick Stevens, gives Broner a little time to perhaps get back into this match. You can see in the face of the problem, Sarah, he is hurting.
Remember how smiley he was at the beginning? He just absorbed every chop, every move, and now the pain has taken over. It is washing away some of that sunshine we saw at the beginning.
Possible hesitation there causes Erick Stevens to grab that arm, send Broner down, and it is submission city right now.
And that tension in the arm, you can tell that there is resistance because it just hurts too much to be maneuvered.
Broner able to roll out there. Now, what do you do if you are Erick Stevens right now? You've got your much larger opponent.
On all pressure points of your core, I mean, this is a tough spot to be in.
And look at this.
For both guys, honestly.
Broner perhaps thinking.
Oh,
he turned that around.
Turned Stevens around too and then dropped him.
F5 variation. Erick Stevens able to kick out. And right now, both of these men feeling the effects of both men's offense. Erick Stevens right now trying to get perhaps a cover.
This is that point of desperation. This is Act 3. Both protagonists are lower than they've ever been in their lives, both physically and mentally. But it's up to whoever can get up and make a capitalizing move to take this match home, if they can. This could go on much longer. I mean, these two have stamina for days.
That is correct, and championship implications are definitely on the line in a match like this with both of these men. And right now, Stevens rolls it over. And now, once again,
Ooh.
this is foot on the rope there. Broner is in a very unenvious position.
No.
He's so close to the ropes, but I don't think he knows where he is right now. There he is.
He's got a leg on the rope.
So close to possibly submitting. Stevens, look at that.
Wow.
Erick Stevens taking advantage of that 5 count.
Capitalization. And the crowd's not feeling warm about it.
Jeremy telling him in Stevens' face, telling him, you got to break by 5. Stevens massaging the rules, if you will.
The dilemma, keeping the wrestlers
Oh!
rules.
Huge lariat. That was that injured arm, but I think he still got quite a bit of it. And Broner perhaps bought himself a little more time in this match against Erick Stevens.
I mean, you know you're desperate when you got to pull off a move like that just to get some peace and quiet for a second to see if your nerves have been damaged beyond recognition.
Here we go. Stevens using the ropes.
Oh, wow. Top rope, too. That's like a little flare. Quick
That is the
pivot.
second rope. That is the second rope.
He had his leg on the top rope.
No. It's where we're sitting. It looks like the top rope.
You're right. Oh, my gosh. Look at how that one I thought was the middle rope. All right.
Here we
Cancel
go.
me.
And here we go right now. Broner perhaps thinking it is time to put away his opponent. And Stevens is up for the ride. Stevens using his weight to get out of that.
I'm counting how many ropes there are.
Look at that.
Boom!
Stevens had that elbow scouted.
Holy moly.
And Erick
Watch out!
Stevens, backbreak clothesline in the corner.
Oh, that can't feel good. Neither
And
can
now,
this.
a pair of knees.
Lingering on the neck and head of Broner.
Isaiah Broner right now is in trouble. Erick Stevens picking up his opponent. And perhaps, going for a German. Broner reverse.
Look at this.
Stevens going for that arm again.
Slippery do. Holy moly.
And Erick Stevens perhaps trying to get a submission. Isaiah Broner once again close to the ropes, but Stevens trying to use his feet to perhaps get himself a little closer to the middle of the ring.
Yep. He's tugging. He's pulling inch by inch.
That is no small feat to pull Broner, using his momentum to get him over there.
Smart use of the body there for Stevens.
And right now, Erick Stevens trying to get that submission. I can't see from our vantage point how close Broner is to the ropes, but I'd assume he might be losing oxygen, Sarah. He might be going out.
This is a dangerous scenario. If you are looking into the camera, I hope you're not seeing.
And Broner able to get the ropes.
Oh.
Just able to get those fingertips on the ropes.
Safety is at hand. Oh, my goodness.
Erick Stevens forced to break yet another submission hold. And that seems to be the story of this match. Erick Stevens gets Broner in a submission hold, and Isaiah Broner has to get to those ropes.
I mean, you start to learn the rhythm the same way that you hit the choir, the chorus, and a verse of a song. These guys have figured it out, and they just have to sing it to the end.
Stevens going for a vertical suplex, not happening. Perhaps thinking of another maneuver or just trying to soften up Broner with those knees to the midsection. Although Broner grabs it, forearm after forearm by Erick Stevens. And right now, Erick Stevens taking advantage of those forearms. Perhaps Broner is susceptible to that suplex. No.
Wow!
Broner suplexes Erick Stevens.
And to have that strength, despite everything.
He had a little something left in the reserves.
I mean, I would not want to feel what his arms are feeling right now, particularly the one that's taking the most damage.
That right arm has been susceptible this whole match after wrapping it around that turnbuckle or steel post on the outside, rather. And there you see a flurry of offense by Erick Stevens. Broner up for the ride. No. Broner yet again reversing.
Yo!
Stevens floats over and goes for perhaps a sleep or a choke of sorts.
He is wrenching it in like there is no tomorrow.
Very solid headlock right now.
I mean, there might not be if that grip gets much tighter.
And here we go. Perhaps. Oh, a beautiful suplex.
Wow.
And let's see if Isaiah Broner
can do anything
can
after
literally do anything. And right now, there you see Stevens. He knows he's in control, and he has got that choke yet again, locked in. And that's a tap. That is a tap.
That's a tap. Had to be done.
Erick Stevens dissecting Isaiah Broner. Sarah, I think it's safe to say Broner hitting that post on the outside was his downfall in this match.
I think so. You can pinpoint a lot of damage that reverberated out from that moment. However, I think that his showing here is absolutely fantastic, and we'd be lucky to see Isaiah Broner back.
Take nothing away from Isaiah Broner. Basically fought the totality of that match with one arm.